Right, it's that time of the month again. Actually, it's past that time of the month. I'm a bit late this month for the channel roundup or channel news video. First up, people keep asking me about Willow and how Willow's getting on. Now, this is just some footage I'm playing from when he was a puppy. I feel really ignorant not answering people's comments when they're kind enough to ask, how he's getting along these days. But across the board, the channel now gets about 500 comments a day. And the tools that YouTube provides for sort of monitoring and replying to comments, etc. at the moment is broken. It's absolutely hopeless. So I thought I would sort of cover off the Willow saga in a short section in today's video. Now, I would like to thank all of those who've asked very much for asking. It's nice to know that it's still in your thoughts and that you care. And the little fella actually isn't doing too bad. As most of you will be aware, he sprained his right front paw about 18 months ago now. He tore the ligament really badly and he now suffers from a condition known as carpal hyperextension. The main change to his life really is that his walks have had to be substantially shortened. We used to walk about 8 miles a day together, now we do nearer about a mile and a half. And while he's out on his walks, he has to wear a special leg brace to give his, what is basically his wrist some support. And contrary to what the vet predicted, it hasn't got any worse. Now, the leg braces don't last long. I get about a month out of a leg brace if I'm lucky, and they're £50 each. And it also costs me a small fortune in special diet supplements that are supposed to help with the tendons to slow down any deterioration. But it's worth it. He's got a good quality of life. He's a very happy little dog. He still hasn't realised that he's actually broken, and he worries me to death when I take him out because he tears around as though there's nothing wrong. He may one day require some sort of operation on his leg, but for the moment we've managed to keep that moment at bay. I'll let you know if there's any more developments. Now, I think it reaches a point for any sort of review-based channel where, a few things have to be sort of brought up in a video like this. If nothing else, just to clear the air. I've done it once or twice in the past and it's apparent from comments etc. that it's time to do it again. And that is comments in relation to how this channel is financed, complaints about how many adverts are showing on each video etc. I mean, some people seem to think that YouTube is just some sort of charity to people with time on their hands that want to watch video. It's nothing of the sort. YouTube is a money-making enterprise, and it makes that money by showing adverts for advertising companies. And if it was unable to do that, YouTube simply wouldn't exist. Now, there are channels that don't show adverts, and that's because they've not reached a stage yet where they're eligible to show adverts. Now, if you really don't like watching adverts on any of my videos, the answer is really simple. You just sign up to YouTube Premium, which costs you, I think, about £12 a month. And for that monthly fee, you get to watch uninterrupted videos without any adverts on them. If you don't want to pay to watch YouTube, the simple answer is you have to put up with adverts. Now, over the past year, there have been more adverts on each video because YouTube introduced mid-roll advertising, which means you may get several adverts play whilst the video is running. And they had to do that because YouTube is getting bigger and bigger, and the bigger it gets, the more money it costs to run. Now, I get a small proportion of the money that YouTube earns from those adverts that it plays on my videos. Running a YouTube channel is not free. Camera equipment costs a lot of money and you wear it out pretty quickly. Video editing equipment costs a lot of money and you're constantly having to upgrade it. Most editing platforms, or at least the ones that are worth using, run on a yearly subscription basis, so they are a perpetual ongoing cost. Bikes cost money to run. And the bottom line is, the bigger a channel gets, the more it costs to run. So that advertising revenue is the only main revenue that I get to offset the running costs of this channel. Now, the other source of income I have is, of course, Patreon. I have a handful of patrons who I'm very grateful to. They all pay a small subscription each month, which again goes towards keeping this channel running. In fact, without them, I'd be up a creek without a paddle. Now, a very rarely mentioned patron, because I don't want this channel to be a commercial channel. I'm sure you know what I mean by that. There are channels that ask for money with every single video that they make. You know, this isn't one of those channels. But if you are interested in signing up as a patron, there is a link to my Patreon page in the video description of every video that I make. Now, the other thing is sponsorship. One thing that's cropping up all the time now is that I'm paid by Royal Enfield. I've been accused that the bikes have both been given to me and that Royal Enfield pay me a huge sum of money every year or every month. And to those people who think that, all I can say is you've got to be having a laugh. My personal finances are my personal business, but I will say this: both of those bikes were bought and paid for by me. So were all the Royal Enfield accessories that have been fitted to them. Now, I would be surprised if Royal Enfield themselves are even vaguely aware of my existence. But I'll tell you for free, MotoGB, the UK importer, hates me. Because I tell the truth about these bikes and the kind of service that you're given when you buy one, and the truth isn't necessarily what they want you to know about. And the same is true about Triumph. I mean, again, I've had it thrown at me that I used to be sponsored by them, that they kicked me out, and now I've got it in for them. That's not the case. I've been quite upfront about the good and the bad with Triumph right from the very first video I ever made about a Triumph motorcycle. Because the aim of this channel has always been to tell you the truth. Now, there are channels out there that are employed by Triumph and by Royal Enfield. They're not difficult to spot, but this isn't one of them. Now, I am going to be taking a break from video production in the next few weeks, and I'll cover that off at the end of this video. But first off, while we're on the subject, Motorn Customs. Now, this is a Motorn Customs rich channel. I think I probably put something like 3 Motorn Customs videos a month out, sometimes even more. Yet surprisingly, I hardly ever get asked if I work for Motorn Customs or if they pay me to do reviews on their products. This channel does have a very special relationship with Motorn Customs. Sam at Motorn has been a very close personal friend of mine for years. Myself and my bikes also act as sort of guinea pigs for his prototype parts. It's a sort of a dream come true for me as a biker to have a company like Motorn send me parts, you know, for me to test out and give back some input as to how I think they should be altered. It's a process that I really enjoy, and it's created a relationship that I think very few channels have actually achieved. Sam is the kind of guy who is really loyal to his friends, so in return for the work that I do, you know, helping him out, test fitting parts, suggesting alterations, etc., he gives me exclusive access to them for review. And I think this has worked out really well for everyone, not just myself and Motorn Customs, but also for you, the viewers, because now you have access to an exclusive 15% channel discount. So everyone's a winner really, and I hope it continues for a very long time to come. Now, as far as custom parts are concerned for the Royal Enfield twins, the Interceptor and the Continental GT 650s, over the past year I have been gradually wearing Sam down over exclusive parts for these twins, and I think we're almost there. Now, the problem with Motorn Customs, well, actually it's not a problem, it's a good thing, is that they don't just go on Alibaba like a lot of companies do and buy whatever generic parts are available and have their name stamped on them. They design them themselves in-house, they develop the parts and they produce them themselves. So this process is going to take quite a long time. But fingers crossed, I'm hoping we might see something on Motorn's shelves ready for the next biking season. Now, as for the current situation with Motorn Customs, as I've explained in the past, because of this whole COVID-19 situation, production of custom parts has had to be scaled down somewhat in order to accommodate social distancing and keep all their employers safe. This means that they're doing smaller production runs than normal in order to sort of keep the plates spinning and keep everything on the shelves, which at the current time is the only thing they can do. Now, this does mean that things seem to be sort of coming into stock and then almost immediately going out of stock. I know Sam said that he's having particular trouble keeping stuff like the X-pipes on the shelves and the crate skinny seats for the air-cooled twins. Now, he's got some items coming into stock that he knows people have been waiting for, so he's asked me to give them a mention. The black rear mudguards for the Triumphs. He's got a small batch of the crate seats coming in black. The Union Jack radiator guards for the bobbers, and of course the very popular Defender sump guard. As for new products, and these are lovely, I can't wait to get my hands on some of these. For the older air-cooled Bonnevilles, Motorn have had various alloy carb tops available for quite some time now. In fact, I fitted some to the T100 Payday Projects bike a couple of years ago. But the demand for brass parts is getting ridiculous, so Motorn will soon be releasing the CNC machine from brass billet versions. I shall make a video as soon as I can get my hands on a pair. Now also, and I know a lot of people have been waiting for these, there are some new seat versions coming out for the bobbers and for the liquid cooled twins. Now, as far as I can remember from conversations with Sam, these have been in development for in excess of 2 years. They are incredibly difficult parts to develop. That's why most custom seat makers rely on you giving them your old seat in order to recover it. Initially, both will be supplied as a seat pan and sculpted foam kit, so that the customer can buy them and then have them covered to their specification and taste. Now, the bobber seat pan, which I think is called the Cobra, is made from 4mm steel, which is powder coated. And the dual seat version for the likes of the T120, the Street Twin, etc. is made from injection moulded plastic. Now, as for these plastic seat pans, these are better than OEM quality. You never see third-party manufacturers making parts like this because it's ludicrously difficult and expensive. Just like the seat pans for the air-cooled twins, these are going to be a benchmark seat pan. There is no other manufacturer that makes them to this standard. Now, the plan is, hopefully, to get in touch with a custom seat coverer and perhaps do a series on what can be achieved with these kits. I'll keep you posted. And finally, before I go, I've been running this channel for almost 4 years now, and I actually worked it out. I've taken a total of 3 weeks off during that time, and I'm tired. Now, what I really want to do is take some time out travelling on some of the bikes. A few trips, if you like. I'm not quite sure how this is going to pan out, what with the COVID thing and the availability of bed and breakfasts. You certainly can't camp at the moment. I want to be able to film these videos, but I can't do that while I'm producing 2 videos a week, so I'm going to take a little break for perhaps a couple of weeks. Get some film in the can for these trips, and then when I come back fresh, I can edit that film together and hopefully make a few worthwhile trip videos. That's going to give me some time to just do what I like to do, and that is go out and ride bikes without any pressure and just have some me time while I'm doing it. Now, I had planned to start this break next week, but the long range weather forecast isn't good, so I'm going to delay it for at least another week, which means I will be here as usual next week. Now, perhaps during those couple of weeks off, I can upload a couple of virtual ride videos because everyone seemed to really enjoy those. And I will be uploading a virtual ride tomorrow. Now the beauty of these videos is they're very quick and easy to edit. In general, I think they only take about an hour to do, so it's not going to be any great hardship for me. Again, I'll keep you posted. Now, once again, thank you so much for watching this and my other videos, and in doing so helping to support this channel. I really do appreciate the time that you put aside to watch these videos. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you have, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and if you are subscribed, don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be informed whenever I upload a new video. So I'll see you in the morning for a virtual ride on the Bullet. Until then, please ride safely, and I'll see you soon.